Before listening to this recording, please make sure that you're lying down in a comfortable position and that you're ready to drift off into sleep. Because at the end of this file, there is no wake-up command. So if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that autoplay is set to off. Or even better yet, you can download the MP3 to this recording and all of my current YouTube sleep hypnosis videos for free on my Patreon page. Link in the video description. But that's enough of that. You should be nice and comfortable and ready to drift off. However, if you do need an extra moment or two, feel free to pause the recording and come back when you're fully prepared to drift. It's late at night, and for some reason, you find yourself tossing and turning in your bed. Normally, you have a very easy time of drifting off to sleep. It's almost as if a switch could just be flicked off in your mind. But tonight, for some reason, it feels different. You lay back and stare up at the ceiling, practicing a little relaxation technique you learned. Breathing in and out, slowly and deeply, letting your gaze soften and become unfocused. Breathing in every single time you count off an even number, and then breathing out, closing those eyes every single time you count off an odd number. Starting at 10, breathing in deeply, and then counting down to 9, closing those eyes, longing to go deep into sleep. 8, and perhaps it's becoming a struggle to open those eyes. Yes, this is what you want. 7, you want to sleep deeply. 6, the bed is so comfortable. 5, almost there. 4, letting it happen. 3, longing to drop into unconsciousness. 2, right on the edge. And 1. 1. And even though you feel really relaxed, that last little bit of consciousness seems to stubbornly remain. You feel drowsy. You feel weary, so ready to drop into sleep. But something just isn't clicking into place. You kick off the covers and stand up, getting up out of the bed as you start to wander around this room, and then opening up the door to this room, finding yourself in a familiar hallway with many, many doors on either side. That's odd. Further down the hallway, deeper down into your mind, you see something. A door that's slightly ajar. A flickering light, like that comes from a candle flame or a fireplace, spills out into the hallway. You decide to go deeper. You decide to investigate what's going on deep down deep, because you have nothing better to do. Walking down the hallway, 10, each step taking you deeper and deeper. 9, your desire to find out what's behind this slightly ajar door intensifies. 8, you could sleep later on. Right now, you want to investigate more and more. 7, everything else can fade away. 6, as you get closer and closer, you can hear something. 5, ah yes, ever so softly and ever so quietly you can hear the crackling of a fire in a fireplace. 4, I wonder who could be up at this hour. 3, almost there. 2, reaching out to hold the doorknob to the slightly ajar door. And 1, so gently and so quietly opening up the door so that you don't disturb whoever is in this room. As you peek into the room, you see a large fireplace, and in front of the fireplace, there are 2 very comfortable, high-backed chairs for lounging and relaxing. The chairs are facing the fireplace, so the backs of the chairs are facing you. 1 is unoccupied, but someone is sitting in the other one. Who could be up at this late hour? Everybody should be asleep. Late at night, when it's time to drift and dream. You cautiously take 1 step, and then another, closer and closer, on your tiptoes, not wanting to be heard, not wanting to be seen, but wanting to know who is here, deep down deep, in this room. Further down that hallway, that very familiar hallway. And as you inch closer and closer, you start to hear the person sitting on the chair, humming ever so slightly and muttering to themselves. You also hear the sound of a pen scribbling on some paper. Maybe they're working on something, writing something down, perhaps brainstorming. You take another step closer. However, this time, one of the floorboards beneath your feet creaks ever so slightly, betraying you and informing you, the person sitting in the chair, that you are indeed here, inching up closer and closer behind them. Oh, I didn't see or hear you there. Don't be shy. Come on in. A bit closer. There's another seat. Sit down, if you will. Resigned to the fact that you've been caught, you obediently move to sit in the unoccupied chair. As you lower yourself down into the chair, you find that it is indeed extremely comfortable, and you let out a satisfied little sigh as you sink into it. Good. You look nice and comfortable. Tell me, what are you doing up at this late hour? Oh, you couldn't sleep. Well, I guess I'm guilty of that also. Oh, what am I up to? Well, you see, I was thinking of all sorts of new hypnosis recordings to make. And I guess I must have gotten a little excited with all the possibilities, because I'm finding it a bit difficult to wind down. There are so many things that I could be doing, and they just seem to all swirl around my head. So I find it very helpful if I'm feeling a bit, I don't know if I'd say overwhelmed, just really hyped and excited about everything that I could be doing. I find it helpful to start writing things down. Just scribbling and jotting some things down on this little notepad. I find it very soothing to take all the thoughts that are inside of my head and put them outside my head. Because the second I write something down, I don't have to be thinking about it any longer, because I can always come back later. Sometimes I feel, I don't know if I'd say anxiety, just the slightest little fear that if I don't write something down right before bed, if I just happen to have a really good idea and I don't write it down, that I'll forget it and it'll be gone forever. Now I know I'm not going to run out of ideas, but it makes me a little sad sometimes because then I think of what could have been. And it's not so much that it's for me. It's for all the people who listen to me. All the people who open up their minds and let my words pour into their heads. They'd be missing out. So that's why I write things down. That's why I get all the ideas that I can out of my head, down onto the paper, and then later on, down, into a recording that guides people down into trance, making them feel so good and blissful as they let go of all their cares and worries. I guess that's why we're here. Do you know that you're only here because one day an idea popped up into my head, and thankfully I had a little notebook on me. This little notebook, actually. Yeah. And here it is. This is where I wrote down my work idea. Yes. A good idea just popped into my head, and I wrote it down. And it's so much fun to just flip through these pages every once in a while to look back at ideas that I had. It takes me back to a different time in a different place, and it's almost as if I'm being magically transported someplace. But I'm rambling, because the fact of the matter is, it's late, and I should be sleeping. And I guess I'm tired, but I'm not sleepy quite just yet. Can you help me go to sleep? You see, something that I find really relaxing is watching somebody else go to sleep. They could just be drifting off, all on their own, or they could have a little bit of help with some hypnosis. I mean, you're up rather late. Wouldn't it be nice to just sink deep down deep and then a bit deeper? Yes. 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 So how about this? You will look into the dancing, mesmerizing flames of the fire. Just look into them, feeling so warm and cozy, safe and secure. And as you look into the relaxing flames of the fire, I'm looking at you, noticing how your gaze softens, how those eyelids become heavy, how every single blink becomes slower and slower. That's right. I find it so relaxing seeing you relax, seeing you let go. It shows me that my voice is indeed powerful and very effective, and I don't have to worry, per se, about always coming up with the best and most powerful hypnotic ideas, because no matter what, as long as you let go and follow, drifting down deeper and deeper into the pleasurable bliss of trance, I know that I'm doing my job right, and I don't need to fret about all the little details. They just fall into place. I just have to go along with the flow, just how you're going along with the flow right now. I could just stand up and walk over next to you, standing right next to your right hand. I can gently reach out and start lifting it up. And it takes barely any effort to lift up your right hand, because your right hand just feels as light as a feather. And my touch guides that hand up, 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 as your mind sinks down, 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 feeling safe, feeling cared for. My hand guiding your hand. And as I pull my hand away, you find that your right arm just drops. You find that you just drop. And your mind is so ready to sleep. Your right arm falls to your side, and you just feel so ready to sleep. and let go of everything. That's right. You're doing so well. As I move over to your left side, gently reaching out and cradling your left hand, my hand guiding your left hand higher and higher, and as that hand rises up more and more, again, that mind of yours sinks deeper and deeper into a trance that just feels so incredibly good. Let go and just drop, drop, drop. As I let go of your hand, as your left arm drops to your side, as your mind drops, 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 all the way down, down deep, and then a bit deeper, as you mindlessly stare into the relaxing, dancing flames of the fireplace, feeling completely and totally drained of all thoughts, just pleasantly blank and empty. And I guess, since nothing comes to mind, you could be described as mindless, mindlessly hypnotized, and ready to go so much deeper, deep into sleep. That's right. You're helping me wind down. I find it so relaxing, seeing people being mindlessly hypnotized. It makes me ready to drift off into sleep myself. Oh, but there's no bed in this room. I guess I'll have to go further down the hallway, deeper and deeper, feeling better and better. But you might need a little bit of help, going deeper and deeper. Let me help you. I reach out, giving you a helping hand so that you can stand. Your body moves on autopilot, as if you're in a dream, as if you're sleepwalking. That's right. Feeling those arms of yours floating up, stretching out in front of you as you follow me, walking like a mindlessly hypnotized sleepwalker. One foot and then the other, mind blank and empty, feeling better and better as you follow my voice. We're walking out of this room and back into the hallway. I hold the door open for you, and you walk out into the hallway. But we're not going back to your room. No, follow me to my room. It's just a bit further down the hallway. Follow along. Just a few more steps. 10. All the numbers melting away. 9. So mindlessly deep. 8. And so incredibly sleepy. 7. Thankful for my guidance. 6. Because without me, you'd probably just fall asleep in the hallway. 5. Halfway there. So ready to sleep and dream. 4. Those arms feeling so heavy. 3. Even those arms are starting to droop. 2. Falling to your sides. 1. So happy as I open the door to a large, comfortable bedroom. You need my help to guide you onto the large, king-size bed. Your feet barely shuffling along. You're almost dragged into bed as everything starts to fade away into the bliss of unconsciousness, safe and sound, knowing that you are helping me feel so comfortable and so relaxed. And as you lay on this incredibly comfortable bed, you feel me also getting into the bed, gently placing one of my arms around you, snuggling and cuddling you. I'm the big spoon, you're the little spoon, and you just feel so safe and ready to drift off, ready to sleep and melt away into dreams. You notice that my breathing is becoming slower and more rhythmic as your consciousness starts to fade. You realize that I too am about to go to sleep and dream. Maybe, just maybe, you'll go to sleep first. Maybe, just maybe, you'll be excited to go to sleep first. Perhaps imagining that you're waiting in your dreams to greet me, knowing that in the future, your mind can just so easily shut off and drift off into sleep. Because when you dream, perhaps you could dream about me and all the fun we can have with hypnosis. So you're very excited to have your mind just switch off like a light switch. And this becomes easier and easier the more and more it happens until it just becomes natural and you don't need to think about it because there's no thinking in hypnosis, no thinking in sleep. Your mind completely emptied out, like words being written down on the pages of a notebook. So you no longer need to think. You no longer need to focus on those thoughts. Just focus on the feelings of drifting off, of being held, of being cuddled, of being safe as you drift off into sleep. That's right. Deep, deep sleep. Letting go of everything. It's time to sleep. It's time to dream. Realizing that I too am drifting off into sleep. realizing that you are melting away into dreams. No way to stop it, as it just happens. Each breath, another wave of pleasant and blissful relaxation. Each breath out, emptying your mind, making you feel more mindless and euphoric until everything melts away into unconsciousness, melts away into dreams. Just sleep, only sleep, deep, deep sleep. Just sleep, only sleep, deep, deep sleep. That's right. Letting go deeper into sleep. Sleep, 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 sleep.